I'm gonna use
Do you want to know the name of your mustache?
Oh, yes, please.
Yours is the Chopper. Mine is the Villain, I think. Right?
Yeah.
That's the Villain.
Yes. Nice.
You look so stupid. Okay.
Does it look too good on me? Is it just too natural?
You look like one of those, like, weird Indian guys.
Oh, no. Hi, welcome back to Just Honest Podcast with your hosts, Penguin and Panda.
No, I told you not to do that.
But I wanted to do it.
You guys like our mustaches?
Yeah.
Comment down below.
I grew it out just for this.
So this, what are we gonna do? This.
Okay, so.
No, this month we're gonna do Spooktober. Ooh. We're gonna do spooky
Scary
videos.
Skeletons.
We got costumes.
Yes.
Obviously.
A penguin. We're not naturally like this.
Yeah. I didn't do any of the research. You did it.
I did all of it.
Yeah, so.
I actually had a lot of fun researching it. I had so many tabs open that I'm like, if an FBI agent looks at my search history, they're going to be very, very concerned.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I might have been flagged on a couple of government
stuff.
Bruh,
you were not.
Oh, like the alien stuff? Mm-hmm. Okay, anyways. So today's topic is the Men in Black.
Yeah.
The Men in Black.
That's why we have mustaches on.
You know, professionals, government agents. Okay. Do you know who the Men in Black are, Harjot?
Yeah, obviously.
Can you explain to the audience who might not know what the Men in Black are?
Well, okay, if you've watched the freaking Will Smith movie, you should know who the Men in Black are. It's like a government group or whatever, agency that keeps things that are not supposed to be known to the public secret. So, like, things like aliens, the moon landing.
No, well, technically this is only about, like, mostly aliens, UFOs that they cover up.
Yeah, like, aliens, UFOs, stuff like that. Just unexplainable phenomena. They're supposed to keep it under wraps because apparently they're real. So we're gonna, I guess, explore that today.
Yes, we are. Okay, good thing you brought up the movies called Men in Black because
here come the Men in Black.
Oh, we're not getting copyrighted. But yeah, the movies. Like when you search on Men in Black, the movies are the first thing that comes up with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones as the leads. And honestly, the movies are amazing.
They are. Yeah.
I love the movies. But did you know that the movies were inspired by a comic book that were inspired by actual real life encounters with Men in Black?
No, who made the comic books?
I did not search that up.
You dumb.
But basically it started with actually in-person encounters, which we will talk about. I have 7 in total that we're going to talk about today. Mm-hmm. From the very first one that I could find up until, I think, 2002. I couldn't find anything more recent. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're going to talk about those. So it all starts from there, and then someone makes a comic book about it, and then they make the films in the, I think, 90s about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, and the thing is, the same thing sort of happened with Frozen. Yeah. And Disney's Frozen, because everyone knows a conspiracy that Walt Disney, the man who created the company, is what is
no, it's people think that he had his head frozen.
I thought it was his whole body.
No, just his head.
Oh.
So people
cryogenically.
Yeah.
Frozen. That's what I was looking for.
And so whenever you used to search up Disney Frozen before the movie came out, whatever year it was.
2013?
Yeah, that would show up, like the conspiracy theories for that would show up. But now whenever you search up Disney Frozen,
Elsa.
It's the movie.
Up. Like Elsa and Anna and, you know, the fucking snowman. Oh, but yeah, so it's like, it's a whole thing. So people are just like, maybe they did the same thing with the Men in Black, where it was all these alien and UFO encounters that the government's trying to cover up. And they made a movie out of it because then Will Smith shows up and he's a really big name. Tommy Lee Jones shows up, also a big name. Yeah. And that's what people associate. So like the alien category is just like, oh, it's fictional. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, recently, I think the government did expose that aliens are real.
Yeah, because there's
aliens are real.
There's a whole thing where, like, every time something happens, they use that as a distraction, and then they, come out with this huge government document, just, like, being like, yeah, so actually this stuff was real.
Area 51 was a real thing.
It was real. But it was, like,
on
we
aliens.
were, like, distracted by like some celebrity thing or like some
yeah,
it was like
they always release things at the same time because I think at the same time that 9/11 happened too, there's another celebrity thing that sort of covered it up or something like that, and it was like trying to direct away from all of that, which by the way 9/11 Bush did it. I believe so because bro, it's a whole thing. Anyways, I might talk about that later. So we'll see. Anyways, but yeah, the Men in Black are a silencer group who goes around when someone has a UFO or alien experience to sort of scare them.
They use the pen.
Not the,
Look right here, my pen.
in a way, yeah. We'll talk about that later on with one of the people's experiences. But yeah, they silence the people and they sort of confuse them, and then they sort of leave. Out of the blue. Like, they show up out of the blue and then leave out of the blue. Like, they have... The people that have encountered them are just like, I have no idea who these people were.
We should have wore tinfoil hats for this.
Well, you sort of got some tinfoil on you.
Alright.
Anyways, okay. People say that they're government agents dressed in all black, like black suits. And then some people are saying that they're actually aliens.
Aliens? Yeah, I was gonna say that,
yeah. Some people are just like, they're aliens because when we get into the description...
Yeah, I've seen this thing where people say they're like 7 feet tall or some shit.
Yeah.
Like super tall. Like, there's like videos and stuff, like security camera
Yeah,
videos
we're gonna get into that.
But I still want to say though, like,
Yeah.
I've seen that, and then apparently they're like, what, 7 feet tall or some shit. Like,
yeah,
they're
freaky
like
looking.
Expressionless, like freaky shit.
But yeah, okay, we're gonna start with the very first, I think, recorded incident or encounter of Men in Black, and this is called the Murray Island Incident.
Wait, I have to take this off for a second. My nose ring is like...
Okay. But, okay, this incident involves Harold Dahl and Fred Chrisman, who claimed to see... I think the hair is going... The mustache is killing me. Anyways, those
from
two
the dollar
men,
store.
Yeah, no wonder why. These men claim to see falling debris out of the sky that look like circular objects, which we now know as UFOs or unidentified flying objects, which can be anything. Doesn't mean they're alien, but whenever you say UFO, I feel like it's associated with aliens, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Harold basically called the incident in on June 21st, 1947. See, this is like 2 years after World War II.
Oh.
So I have a feeling, like, I have theories and stuff. Like, I love conspiracy theories, but I'm like, it's right after World War II. People were in high tension. These men probably went off to war and just came back. They're kind of mentally not okay. PTSD, they got a lot going on. So maybe these encounters can be chalked up to that, and also things falling out of the sky. There was a lot of things going on, like, World War II. So I'm like, maybe it's just leftover stuff. Or maybe it's planes trying to get rid of all these things that the government doesn't want other people to know about, right? You never know. Like, governments, nobody trusts them. But yeah, so the incident basically happened at 2:00 in the afternoon, broad daylight. Damn. And Harold said that he was patrolling close to the shore on the east bay of Murray Island. So he was there. He was like with 2 crewmen and his 15-year-old son and his dog. So a total of 5 people on that boat patrolling. And when he looked up, he saw 6 very large donut-shaped aircraft. Direct quote from him. They look like donuts with a hole in the middle. Oh. Right? Oh, what did I say?
Well, yeah, that's
what a donut is.
Oh, like.
Idiot. But anyways, so the objects started dropping like paper, and they started like falling slowly, and then there was like rocks too that looked like smoldering rocks falling out of these
like
objects.
Asteroids,
and not like asteroids, like, but just like, coal, almost. So he describes it as heavy lava rock type things.
Okay.
And so due to that, there's like heavy objects, there's lighter objects. One crew member actually sustained a broken arm. Damn. Because of the rocks falling, and the rocks unfortunately killed the dog. Ooh. So the 15-year-old boy lost his dog, which is really sad. Even his supervisor, Harold's supervisor, Sisman, he was very skeptical until he saw it with his own eyes. So
wait, so like he was at work during this?
Yeah, this was during work.
Oh.
Like, he was patrolling. He just brought his son out because he's just like, let's just go, let's get out or something like that. And this happened at work. So it was a workplace injury that the crewman got. But this was like 1947. I don't know if they had
WCB.
Yeah. Well, that's Canadian. This is in America.
Workers' comp.
But I don't know if they're unionized or not. So that was like a whole thing. But yeah, basically after that happened, Harold called in the incident the day after. And actually, no, sorry. He called it in the day of. Because obviously if it's a workplace injury, government locals need to know so they can come and clean it up and assess the situation. And once he called that injury, or not the incident in, the next day, the very next day, black suits came to his house and told him not to speak of the incident, otherwise bad things would happen.
See, because I feel like that could be like a war cover-up instead of like a Men in Black alien thing, you know?
Yeah. So that's why, like, these men actually, because Harold was out at a local diner as well, and people saw Harold out with this man in the black suit at this diner. So he has eyewitness reports of other people seeing him with this strange man. But after that, there was further investigation, obviously brought onto this incident because it was the first of its kind. And it was conducted by Kenneth Arnold, a private pilot, and Captain E.J. Smith of United Airlines. So really high up government officials. And then they also involved Lieutenant Frank Brown of Military Intelligence and Captain William L. Davidson. So they conducted a bunch of interviews. They collected evidence, probably samples of things around there.
Yeah.
And after this, these men, like, once they collected everything they needed to report back, they got ready to go back to California where they were stationed. And on August 1st, they left, but their plane crashed with all the evidence, with all of them in it, right outside of Kelso, Washington. So it killed both men. Like, there's nothing left.
Like the people who came to investigate it?
Yes, the extra people.
Damn.
So, like, Lieutenant, Frank Brown and Captain William L. Davidson.
Well, that's an easy way to just kind of be like, whoops, we lost it. Now, what are we supposed to do?
Exactly. So, it's like also a cover-up on that. And then, after that, the FBI launched a formal investigation with this whole thing. Dahl denied all things about it and said it was a hoax. So, he himself, once he had reported it, after getting a visit from these strange men, he said it was a hoax, that I was joking, like, it was all planned by me. Like, did they do it for attention? Like, that's what I was wondering. Because, obviously, we were talking about World War II.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a real thing, because FBI got involved.
Yeah,
military intelligence
The thing
got
is,
involved.
like, even if you were just, like, messing around, like, making a ha-ha funny joke, it's like, why would you, like, kill your dog? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why would you make a rock fall on your dog and kill it?
And, like, a guy his arm is broken.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And the fact that government officials got involved and they were able to collect sample evidence and interview a bunch of people about this stuff.
Yeah.
Who also claimed to have the same story about seeing that in the sky at the time. But yeah, that was the first reported incident of the Men in Black. The second person that I want to talk about was Albert K. Bender. This man, he lived until 2016.
Damn.
He was born in 1921, died in 2016. So
He's old.
Yeah, very old, almost 100.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. So Bender, in 1952, he actually created a group called the International Flying Saucer Bureau, the acronym for IFSB. And it was very successful. It had 600 worldwide members. 600 at the time in 52. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, international fame like that?
Yeah, like pre-internet stuff. That's crazy.
Because the internet was, like, in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. But not long after his club started, I think about a year or two, a lot of stuff went wrong for this guy. Like, he was sick all the time. He had bad health. Yeah. He constantly got strange phone calls from random people who wouldn't talk. He would just pick them up, and then it would stay on static, and then it would just cut out. He got telepathic messages from, he claims that he got telepathic messages from people, and he also felt like he was being watched.
Okay.
Yeah. And because obviously to start a group, you got to be very extroverted, very charismatic. And this guy he was very out there. He had a personality to go with it. And he was very into supernatural. He loved clocks. Yep. And
is that important to know?
a little bit. And he had an attic bedroom named Chamber of Horrors.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Does it sort of make sense who this guy is? Kind of a geeky nerd, also weird recluse a little bit. Yeah. Within a year of this whole group being put together, it was shut down within a year. Like, non-existent anymore. No more members. Bender shut it down.
Because it probably turned into a cult.
In a way, yeah. So what happened was, in November of 1952, Bender was at a local movie theater and realized that a strange man with glowing eyes was watching him and following him home. And this guy has been saying that he feels like he's being watched. He's being followed. He's getting strange phone calls. So he's on the edge.
Yeah.
And he's already, like, at his mental breaking point, probably. And he said that he was telepathically hypnotized and levitated out on the street in late night.
Bro was just, like, zooted the fuck out. He's probably, he's probably just drunk as shit. And he's like, yeah, I levitated, bro.
Yo. And then when he got back to his attic apartment, he said...
The Chamber of Horrors, yes.
Yeah, the Chamber of Horrors, of course. He said that he smelled something like burning sulfur.
Ooh.
Yeah, so like an eggy smell almost, like if no one's... Obviously, I don't think a lot of people have smelled sulfur, but it's just an egg rotting smell almost.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. And also in the supernatural community, it's...
Demons or demonic stuff.
Yeah, it's like some sort of possession sort of thing going on. And then a year after that, not even a year, like literally 7 months after that, in July of 1953, 3 men in black visited his home and told him to stop publishing because he had some books out with a group, and they kept visiting.
They just weren't fans of his books. They're like, dude, this shit sucks. This shit sucks. Just quit now. Quit.
Yeah, no, they kept tormenting him until he stopped all his research and shut down the organization.
Damn.
Like, these guys harassed him to the point that he didn't want to do what he essentially loved anymore. It's like the opposite of the Sherlock Holmes series, where they bugged him so much to be like, we need, like, Sherlock survives, right? To, like, write another book. Yeah, the Bender literally abandoned his life and moved to California 3 years later. And then he lived out his life in California, and he died peacefully in 2016.
The haters won.
Yeah, the haters really won. He had a very successful club.
Yeah.
Like, that is absolutely crazy.
See, that I feel like that's like a thing where you can say, it's the Men in Black, but you could also just say that it was like, because you know how there's celebrities and they get so much hate to the point where people literally harass them like, okay, stop doing what you're doing because we hate you and we want you dead. It could be just that, you know?
Yeah, because I've seen something recently about Tom Holland, how he's been getting death threats or very, very negative things said to him and posted about him because of the roles he takes up.
Yeah.
And he's taking a step back from acting right now.
Yeah, because you kind of have to. And especially, like, imagine the security back then. Like, this guy probably had zero security.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's an author. He's not going to have security.
Like, no one cared about authors.
Yeah, so it's, like, obviously, like, it could be one or the other. You could say it's, Men in Black, or you could just say it's, like, D1 haters. Just being like, dude, stop. Otherwise, we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
You know, because people are insane in this world, genuinely.
They are. Never trust anyone, honestly.
Yeah.
So the third incident that was reported was Robert Richardson in 1967. So he basically reported there was a crash. He crashed into a UFO while driving at night.
The UFO was just cruising down the highway.
Yeah, you know, as it does. He said that once he had crashed into it, the object entirely disappeared.
Hit and run.
Oh my god, call the authorities right now.
Who do you even, report that to? Like, the insurance company? Yeah, so I just, hit a UFO, but they disappeared. Well.
See, look, it literally says, the police and Richardson went back to the scene, but found nothing.
Yeah.
Later, Richardson came back on his own and found a piece of metal which he thought came from the UFO. It's kind of suspicious that he's the one that found it, but when he was with the police, they weren't able to find that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess we're debunking this. This is
yeah.
This is basically what it's turning into. But I'm like, these are reports of people saying this. But basically, after finding that piece of metal, 3 days later, 2 young men visited him in his house and asked him a lot of questions. Just regular men, young guys, just I guess curious. Because obviously it probably got out. He probably told the newspaper and everything about this incident, and they reported on it. And then a week after the 2 men had asked the questions, another 2 men in suits visited him and kept trying to get him to believe he didn't crash into anything. And then
it was just the UFO insurance agents. They're like,
it's like, you saw nothing. Do not ask for
They're
money.
like, we're not paying you.
It's like, there's no proof that anyone got hit. But basically, these 2 men that visited him kept asking for the piece of metal he found.
Oh.
That's all they were interested in. They told him the incident didn't happen, and the metal you found, we need that metal. Which, at that point, Richardson had already given into a lab to be analyzed.
Yeah.
So it's out of his hands. It's gone somewhere else. And these men did not take no as an answer. At all.
Damn.
As men do. But these men basically threatened this guy by saying, quote, "If you want your wife to stay as pretty as she is, then you better get the medal back."
What?
End quote.
See, that could just be like, he could have just hit someone's truck or something, and then they could just be crazy hillbilly motherfuckers who are just like, we're gonna fix your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you never know. But basically that was his, and I don't know if he ended up giving the medal to him.
Did he ever get the results of what it was?
I don't think so.
Is it just regular metal?
No, actually, wait. I completely forgot to put this in there. But I think he did get scared because he didn't want anything to happen to his wife, because that's his family. And he got the medal back and just sent it off. Like, gave it to them. Never got any results. Nothing. The medal went missing after that.
Damn.
So no results. Anything was found. No one knows anything else. So, threatening worked, I guess. And then the next incident was in 1968.
How many do you have of these?
7. This is the 4th one.
Goddamn.
Yeah. But Jack Robinson. So Jack and his wife, Mary, were UFO researchers. That's what they did for their job. So they obviously had all their research in their house. It was stocked full of papers everywhere and books everywhere. They reported that one night their apartment had been broken into. But yeah, they didn't do anything more than research, but they said their apartment was broken into, and this was after seeing the same man outside their place for 3 days straight. This man, like, I have this picture. I'll put it up in between us and I'll show you as well. So this is the picture of the man outside their apartment. Someone was able to get this picture of this guy, I think one of their friends, and he's basically, as you guys can see, it's black suit, black hat, just standing, looking. He kept looking at their apartment the entire time. He didn't do anything else. He just looked at the apartment 3 days. And yeah, their friend Timothy Green Beckley got a picture of the man. But yeah, that was their experience with the Men in Black. Nothing, they weren't approached, but they felt like they were being watched, and they were being watched.
What year was this in?
68.
68? Did people still dress like that in 68? Like regular people?
I
That was
don't
like
think so.
the time of contemporary rock. People were dressing more like hippies.
Yeah.
There were still some people dressed in suits, though.
Well,
I think.
businessmen, right?
Yeah.
But still, like, that's kind of weird. Like, the same guy, every time they would look out for 3 days, was standing there. Like,
maybe he was just like a crazy stalker.
Maybe. Maybe he was a fan of theirs and he really wanted to get in their house and look at the research.
Or just like, I don't know, fucking crazy stalker shit. Like weird shit.
Okay. And the next one, I think this is the fifth incident or report, happened in September 11th, 1976 with Dr. Herbert Hopkins. So this guy has a doctorate in something. So he said he was allegedly helping on a UFO teleportation case. He was asked to give his expertise because he was a UFO researcher as well. One evening, he was at his home alone, and the phone kept ringing. And it was a man that claimed to be the VP of the UFO research organization. He asked Hopkins if he could visit him to discuss the details about the case. And Hopkins agreed. Because he's like, whatever I can do to help this case, come on in, that's fine. And this was all over the phone. And when Hopkins went to go turn on his porch light to let the guest find his house, because obviously it would take a while to get there, right? He looked outside and he already saw this man walking up the stairs to his door.
Oh.
Seconds after the phone call had disconnected.
Damn.
Like, that's really weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right? Like,
Weird
this
behavior.
is the first, like, really weird
So why are
incident.
you already at my house, bro? Like, don't
Like,
like,
I didn't agree first.
Yeah, don't ask for permission when you're already outside. Like, that's weird.
It's really, really weird. But he's like, you know what? Maybe he's super eager. He's got to get this out, right? He let him in. Because obviously he's like, I'm helping on this case. Let's get this going so we can get it solved. See what's happening. He let him in. And the man entered, and the doctor saw that he was wearing a black suit, black hat and shoes, gray suede gloves, and a white shirt. So fully covered from head to toe, basically, with his face out, obviously. And obviously when you enter a household, you're supposed to take your hat off.
Yeah. And
this man, once he took his hat off, Hopkins saw that he was bald.
Oh my.
Shiny forehead. But
He's
not
bald.
Okay, but not only that, he had no eyebrows or eyelashes.
Dude just had alopecia, bro. He just had that Jada Pinkett Smith fucking thing.
No, but like this guy had no hair on him. And,
Alopecia.
And he described him as having pale, dead white skin and rosy lips that he said were colored by lipstick since it smeared when he touched it with his glove.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's like a painted on doll, and his speech was very monotoned. He had no inflections in his voice, whatsoever. It's just one tone the entire time.
Damn.
Right? Like, that's scary. Basically, I don't know how they got onto this topic, but I think obviously men, they come in and they offer a drink. So they're drinking as well. And this man says to the doctor, oh, can I show you something? And the doctor was like, sure, why not? The stranger correctly guesses that the doctor had 2 coins in his pocket. 2 coins.
Dude was a magician.
He's like, let me finesse you real quick. He then asked the doctor to pull those coins out of his pocket and put it on the man's hand. And no, put it on his hand. So he told the doctor to put it on his own hand, the 2 coins that was there. So he's standing there like this. And to watch it. Don't take your eyes off of those coins. And the doctor listened and watched the coins. And eventually he found that the coins were going out of focus for him. And that happened until the coins were completely vanished from his hand.
Oh.
So the coins were there. A couple seconds later, the coins were gone. And no one had touched them or anything.
Dude just said, watch this. You didn't see that, did you?
But yeah. And after the coins had disappeared, this man says to him, neither you nor anyone else on this plane will ever see that coin again.
Okay.
Like, that's freaky.
It's
like,
a clever way to rob someone, I guess.
But like 2 coins, like, I'm pretty sure they're like maybe worth like a couple of dollars, maybe $5-10 something, I guess. Like, who would do that if you want to steal money? If you want to steal more money, just like break in, go get his jewels, or like, he's a doctor. He probably has instruments that could sell for way more money, right? But after that, they both talked about UFO general topics, and as the night progressed, then they were talking about all of that. The man's speech slowed down, and he said to the doctor, quote, "My energy is running low. Must go now. Goodbye." He then walked out with very unsteady steps, and then a bright bluish white light was shining on the driveway, and he went away. The doctor neither saw nor heard a car, but assumed it was a car because of the lights. Later that night, he saw marks on the driveway that were not made by a car. And the next day, he came out and looked at the driveway, and the marks were completely gone. So, like skin marks or something, right?
Interesting.
The twirled mustaches. And after the visit, or the incident, the doctor was so shaken that he complied with all the instructions that the visitor had given him, because he was shaken to his core. So he erased all the tapes of hypnotic sessions that he had done. He was conducting, and dropped out of the case completely that he was helping investigate.
Damn.
Like, he was scared shitless. And this was all during a time where his family was out. So his like wife and kids were out, and he was at home, and he got this call I think it was right after they left. He got this call, and this man came in, and then right when the man left, his wife and kids got home, and they're just like, what happened? And like asking him things, right? Because he was so shaken up.
Yeah.
And he didn't answer any of them. So like, that's freaky.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
Crazy magician who had alopecia.
But yeah, that's how the men in black are usually described, though.
Yeah, like
very
emotionless.
pale,
Yeah,
hollowed in eyes, like very
they
sunken
like
in.
uncanny valley, like human,
Yeah.
humanoid.
Very
sort of, yeah.
like very robotic. Yeah, that's very true. All right, so this next incident is, I think a lot of people know him because he's in the film industry. It's in 2002 of January. Dan Aykroyd.
I don't know who that is.
He's more like a documentarian. So he's like he's behind the scenes sort of stuff. He's not in front usually. So this man throughout his life has had 4 UFO sightings.
Damn.
That's why he's like so into it. Like, I looked up his interviews that he's done to this day, like on YouTube and stuff. They're still out there. He talks about them. But we're only going to talk about one incident, not even a UFO incident, but one incident where he had an encounter with the men in black. He was filming a documentary on UFOs, and it was called Out There. It was a TV show. And obviously when you record a TV show, you got to pitch it to a production company so you're able to get it out there into the world. That's how the film industry works. And he was doing that. So he had interviewed UFOologists and filmed the entire thing. And the show was almost sold to a sci-fi channel after everything had been done, edited, all that. But the show was canceled the very day that it was sold to that company, to that channel that was going to put it out. Basically, this was, I think it was in New York. The building, there's like people upstairs and stuff, and it was during a break. So Dan said that he was outside the building smoking a cigarette on his break, and he got a call. So he picks up the call, and he turned his head to the left side, and then back straight. So within seconds. So he was just like picking it up, looking around and stuff, and he looks back straight. And within those couple of moments, across the street where it was completely empty, there stood a black Ford sedan just parked there. And he tried to get a look at the license plate, but it couldn't focus for him. He couldn't read it. Right? And he thought it was a police car because a man got out of the car, and this guy was big. Like super big and tall. And so obviously you assume police officers sort of have that physique. It could be an unmarked car just there in the middle of New York. And so for any context, he was standing on 42nd Street, like on the street. And the man gave Dan a very dirty look. And a second later, Dan like looked away to see if he could see like anything else, because when you're on the phone you're sort of scanning, you're doing other stuff, and he looks away and he looks back, and the car and man had vanished.
Damn.
Like, he was gone. Like, there wasn't even a marking where you could see, like, maybe he pulled into traffic and went away. Like, there's nothing. So within 2 hours of this encounter, the crew were told to stop filming because the show was canceled and nothing was going to be aired.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're in negotiations to sell this, probably about to sign on the dotted line, and right when that happens, they're like, yeah, it's not going to air. It's canceled. Sorry. All that hard work you put into it, all those people that you interviewed, the crew that you had behind the scenes, nothing.
Wow.
All your work down the drain.
Yikes.
Like, even as, like, I work in the film industry, and I'm like, all that hard work and not seeing something come out like that, it's heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
It's so horrible, because you're like, we put our heart and soul into this. At least, like, hopefully I can put it out somewhere. But they had sold it, so they had no rights to it anymore. So that Sci-Fi Channel owned it.
Yeah.
Owned the TV show, so Dan couldn't even put it out anywhere.
Wow.
So, yeah. I guess people could say it's just business.
Yeah.
But then again, like, how you saw a man across. Like, how do you see someone, like, all of a sudden there and then not there?
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. And this was 2002. 22 years ago now. Like, not that long ago. Okay, and the last encounter... Oh, I lied in the beginning. 2008. 2008 is the last incident that I could find.
Oh.
So, this guy named Shane Sover, on October 14th, 2008, had... So, this guy works at the Niagara Falls region at the time of this reporting. And apparently this guy had multiple UFO encounters or sightings in the area of Niagara. And this was actually in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. And there was another witness before Shane had said his piece and reported everything. The witness said that they were driving to Niagara Square, leaving Fort Erie. So they're on a highway. They spotted a black triangular craft that made no noise and had a pulsating red light underneath it.
Thanks.
The craft was hovering 100 feet up on the right side of the highway. So this was reported weeks before. Actual other reporting that Shane had given to the newspapers and everything was so near the Sheraton Falls Hotel in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, at around 10:30 p.m. October 14th. Him and I think a maintenance man were working at the hotel, just like right over the falls. Like, we've been there, like there's hotels there, so like you can see right into the falls. He saw a bright light making its way through the sky. So security came and watched as well, because they're both just like, what's going on there? What is this? Is this a helicopter? Is this a plane? Why are they over the Niagara Falls? So the security man commented either someone went into the river and they're looking for them, or that's a UFO. Security guy said that. And the thing was, the light wasn't pointing down into the falls to look for anyone that possibly had fallen in. It was pointing at the men watching the light move in the sky. And it got closer. And once it got closer to the men, it had dimmed the light a little bit, and it made its way over the river. And it got closer and closer and lower until it was about 50 to 75 feet over the hotel. And then Sover said that it looked like a big black triangle with a big light on the front and a pulsating red light underneath. Same description as the other witness that was driving on the highway. After this incident and the reporting of it, a couple of weeks later, two tall men wearing black trench coats and black hats walked into the hotel. And this is the very famous security camera footage that everyone has seen, where these two men come into the hotel. And if I can find like a clip of it, I think BuzzFeed has one. I don't know if I can use that in my video. But if you can't, like if I can't use it, you can search it up. It's everywhere. It's the most undeniable evidence. So these men walk in and ask the receptionist for the hotel manager, Sover, and the security guard who had seen the UFO on that night. Both men were not at work.
Mm-hmm.
So the MIB left. These two tall men just walked in, asked for those people. Receptionist said, sorry, they're not at work. And they left.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing after that.
Oh.
That was the last interaction. These men never came back. And the people who saw these tall men described them as pale, no eyelashes, no hair, no eyebrows.
Red lipstick?
Probably like ruby red lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last incident of Men in Black sightings. So
since then, there's been no more Men in Black?
Not that I could find. No.
I think the Men in Black was like a thing for like aliens just kept on messing up, and it was like, you know, whatever, the HR, whatever, being like, oh god, now we gotta go fucking clear this shit up for them.
Alien HR.
Now we gotta like, oh, how'd you fuck up, Steve? Come on,
Steve!
Bob. Whatever, alien. Glorp. Why'd you do this, Glorp?
Glorp. Imagine their name being that. Oh my god.
And then they went and they had to like cover up. I guess they've gotten better at, you know, covering their tracks with UFOs. They got invisibility shit now or something. They don't need any more Men in Black.
Well, I guess. I don't know, because I think it was, in 2022, 2023 or something, that the government
started releasing
releasing documents and saying, because I guess there have been like UFO sightings, because I know like a bunch of air pilots in the military and stuff have seen things in the sky, and I remember where one of them has actually said that the radar has detected a really fast-moving object. I don't remember exactly what it was.
But that's also, like, technology has advanced so much that there are, like, certain jets that actually travel faster than sound. I remember just...
No, but the thing is...
No, I seen a thing where, like, there's this jet, I don't remember what it's called, but it was, like, the first of its kind, and it was made, like, a couple years back. It was the first of its kind that actually travels faster than sound. Yeah. And that's terrifying to think about. And, like, the thing is, UFOs, like, yeah, it could be, like, aliens and shit, but it could also just be, like, because...
Government experiments.
Like, yeah, like, experiments, and, like, because technology has gotten so advanced, like, we don't know the full extent of, like, what the government can do. I mean, like, with a press of a button, they could, like, explode the entire world.
They have nuclear missiles and
so that's like the thing. It's like,
it's
we don't know everything. It could just be, like, a government thing that they're just kind of like, oh, we don't want people to know about this. Because, like, you can make, like, crazy weapons like that.
Yeah, but these people were fighter jets for the military, for the government.
Yeah, but it could be a different division of the government.
I guess it could be, like, very undercover, and these men were also confused because obviously airspace is controlled by air traffic control, right? And you have to report where you are, so nothing's hitting each other, and there's, like, no crashes in the sky. But I remember they reported that this really fast-flying thing, like object in the sky, was moving erratically. Wasn't moving like a normal
But
plane.
the thing is that, like, the government needs to do, like, experiments somewhere, so, like, they probably just do it in, like, military space, right?
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know.
But
like,
wouldn't they tell the military? It's like, hey, we need the airspace.
Well, they also make, like, mistakes, like, where they could be like, oh, we didn't know that they were practicing whatever, like, whatever, doing whatever, and we decided to do other experiments. Like, maybe their schedules clashed or something. Whoever the receptionist fucked up the schedules.
No, but the thing is, usually in those types of situations, there has to be communication, because even, like, we were on a plane.
Yeah, but there's not always. That's what I'm saying.
But it's like, you can put so many lives at risk.
They don't care. Be so for real, dude. They don't care. People are gonna die. It's like, oh, whatever. Like, the government does not care if people die.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a whole nother thing that we can go into. They don't care if people die or live. Like, don't give a shit.
I guess so.
So, yeah.
But yeah, that was 7 encounters with the MIB outside of the movies. That sort of inspired the comics, that inspired the movies, and have covered up these incidents, because I couldn't find a lot other than... I kept searching up Men in Black, and the movies kept coming up. So I couldn't do a lot of research unless someone else has other ways that I can look at things, because it would be kind of cool to look at. I'm really into this. Conspiracy theories and supernatural, paranormal stuff.
She has tinfoil hats.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
She's a tinfoil hat wearer.
I'm more into the supernatural. But yeah. So that was our video on the Men in Black.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Let us know if you believe in the Men in Black, or if you think it's just the government is a piece of shit and like people like to cause panic for no reason.
Or have you ever encountered the Men in Black? Or have you ever seen a UFO?
Yeah.
Because if you have, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to know if you have. Because, like, I can interview you.
You're not going to interview some person for a UFO.
I guess, because you can't really verify it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for this. This is the first video of Spooktober that we're doing. We're coming out with a total of 3 videos.
Yep.
Each leading up to Halloween. So every week, up until the day of Halloween, there will be a video from us.
And we're going to be wearing costumes. So you guys better watch to figure out what our costumes are. They're not really costumes. They're just like...
fun little things that we can just put together. Because these are not like really serious videos.
Mm-hmm.
These are just little fun things that we're really into, that we want to talk about. And I think I spent like a couple of days researching this and getting all the information that I possibly could.
Yeah.
So
my mustache is falling off.
I know, mine too. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the notification button if you want to get notified every time we upload.
Follow us on our separate Instagrams and our joint Instagram and our separate TikToks and our joint TikTok.
All right. Bye-bye. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Like, comment, subscribe.
I already did.
Bye. Ow.
Oh.
I think I have glue on my top lip now.
Oh, I feel like my lip is red.